The limited spectrum and the narrow spectrums are almost one and the same, but they are having their specific action. So there are two types of food preservatives will be there. One is artificial sweetening agent and a food preservative. And remember, the paracetamol is only the drug which we used as both analgesics as well as the antipyretic. Hello my dear students, a warm welcome you all. Myself is Purnima, lecturer in Department of Chemistry at Vidhyaashram Pre-University College, Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. My dear students, we are going to start with a revision for the last unit, that is the unit 16, Chemistry in Everyday Life. So let us see what is important in chemistry in everyday life to understand with the application part of this unit. Remember, this unit, it's all about the application part, which means that where do we use the chemistry in everyday life? It's a matter for everybody, correct? So that is why this unit has been kept to understand the application and the uses of chemistry in our everyday life. Okay. So in this unit, we shall learn the application of the chemistry in the three important and interesting areas, okay, that are namely medicines, food materials and cleansing agent. So we are going to understand what is the importance of chemistry in the three areas. So in the first part, we are going to understand the different kinds of medicines that we use still now also in our day-to-day life. After understanding the medicinal value, we have a food and its materials, okay. So which are the food materials that we use, what are its uses, that is also we are going to understand on the basis of chemistry. And lastly, with the cleansing agent. So which are the cleansing agents that we are using in our day-to-day life, what are its uses and how do they form it, that is very important to know in the application part of this unit. For the cleanliness, we use the soaps and detergents and a toothpaste, bleachers, which are all made up of chemical compound. So similarly, the cloth which we use, that may be a cotton, wool or silk or terraline, and food materials such as carbohydrate, proteins or lipids, fats, whatever it may be, and medicines, it may be antibiotics or the antimalarials, whatever it may be, even the explosives, fuels, rocket, propellants, building material, etc. So the things which you can consider anywhere which is there in your surrounding, whatever it may be, the things which are made up of mainly derived from them, it is nothing but your chemicals, okay. So the chemical compounds are mainly derived from them. So that is a major advantages to know about why chemistry is important in our day-to-day life. Okay, so from this unit we can expect 5 mark, okay, we can expect 2 2-mark question and 1 1-mark question. Let us discuss with the 2 mark and 1 mark question from this unit, okay. This is the smallest unit, but you'll learn many things why the chemistry is so important for our day-to-day life. We are going to understand, okay. So we'll see with the 1-mark question now. Define the term chemotherapy. So chemotherapy is nothing but treatment of a diseases by means of chemicals that has a specific effect upon the diseases and causing microorganism without harming a friendly microorganisms or a bacteria which our body needs. Which means to say that we are using a particular type of chemicals to destroy the microorganism which causes harmfulness to our body. And also there are many microorganisms which is present inside our body, they are friendly to us, correct? So it should not harm that friendly microorganism, but it should destroy the harmful microorganism which is present inside our body. Such specific type of chemicals that we use for the treatment, okay, that we use for the therapeutic, okay, that we call it as what? Chemotherapy, okay. Next, what is mean by the term broad spectrum antibiotics, okay. So usually the antibiotics are of 3 types, okay. There are 3 types of antibiotics will be there. First one is broad spectrum, second one is narrow, and the last one is limited. Okay, when do we say it is a broad spectrum antibiotic? As we all know that antibiotics are the chemical substances which we prepared from the microorganism used to kill for the other microorganism. Correct? So there are three types of the antibiotics will be there based upon their action. Okay. So the first one is a broad spectrum, narrow spectrum, and last one is a limited spectrum. The limited spectrum and the narrow spectrums are almost one and the same, but they are having their specific action. Let us understand what is meant by a broad spectrum antibiotic. The broad spectrum antibiotics, used to kill the broad range of microorganisms which is harmful to our body. Okay, so it may be a gram-positive bacteria or gram-negative bacteria. So it will kill the wide range of microorganisms which is harmful to our body. Such microorganisms are called as what? Broad spectrum. When we say it is narrow spectrum, a microorganism go and kill the specific type of species which are causes a harmfulness to our body. Okay, that are said to be narrow spectrum antibiotic. When do we say it is limited in the sense it goes and kills a specific type of microorganisms. Only one type of microorganism if it is kills directly, that is said to be a limited spectrum antibiotics. Like this, antibiotics are classified into three types. In that any of one can be asked for 1 mark, or sometimes they can ask you to write with the classification of the antibiotics based upon their action. Okay, you must know all the three types. Okay, broad spectrum antibiotics are the drugs which are effective against large number of harmful microorganisms which causes diseases. Next, which are the main constituents of Dettol? Okay, so as we all know that Dettol is a disinfectant. What is mean by disinfectant? We all know that disinfectants are nothing but a chemical substances which we use to destroy the action or which we use to inhibit the growth of microorganism. So directly to kill or to inhibit the growth of microorganism, we use a disinfectant. And we all very much know that disinfectant we cannot apply for the living tissues. So we can use it to clean the floors or to the whatever it may be, to clean the glass item, to clean the floor, we will use a disinfectant. One such example is a Dettol that we use for our daily life. So what are the constants will be there? The main constants of the Dettol are antiseptic, Dettol, or chloroxylenol and terpinol. So they can ask you what is the constants of the Dettol which is present. So the main constants of antiseptic Dettols are chloroxylenol and terpinol. Okay. Next, what is a drug? A low molecular mass substances which can interact with a larger molecule mass target, which we call it as what? Drug. So the drugs are the molecules, or you can say that it has a low molecular mass substances. It can go and interact for the larger target which is having high molecular mass, that is said to be a drug. Okay. So give an example for antipyretic drugs. So first of all, you must know that what are antipyretics? Antipyretics are the drugs which we take to reduce the body temperature. Correct? So when we have fever, so the body temperature can increases up to 105, 110 like that. Now, in order to reduce the body temperature, we will take the antipyretics. So example for this is paracetamol and aspirin. Okay, and remember the paracetamol is only the drug which we used as both analgesics as well as with the antipyretic. We'll see with the 2 mark question. So in the 1 mark, from the drug, we can expect any of the 1 mark question, or any of the question which is based upon the food material, or we can expect any question based upon the cleansing agent. We'll go with the 2 mark question now. What are food preservatives? Give an example. As we all know that the food preservatives we added directly to the food, especially for the few reasons. Okay. The first reason is to enhance their shelf life, to enhance their appeal, and in order to keep it for longer time. So one is to keep it fresh, and in order to enhance their appeal, and in order to keep it for longer time, and sometimes to give a nutritional value also, we will add the food preservatives. Okay. So there are 2 types of food preservatives will be there. One is artificial sweetening agent and the food preservatives. Okay. Artificial sweetening agents are the substances which are prepared artificially. It's not obtained naturally. Okay. This will enhance as a sweet with a low calorific value. Okay. Example, aspartame, sucralose and allitame. So allitame is only the artificial sweetening agent which has higher sweetening capacity. Okay, next, food preservatives, as we all know that we use salt, sugar and sodium benzoate. You must know that. Okay, next, what are antioxidant? Give an example. So sometime, if you keep the food for the longer time, it can easily get oxidized. In order to avoid that, we will add the antioxidants. So what are antioxidants? We have to know. So substances which are added to the food to prevent the oxidation of food materials, they are known as what? Antioxidant. Example, BHT, which is known as butyrated hydroxytoluene and butyrated hydroxyanisole. Okay, so in the exam they can ask you like this. Give an example for antioxidant. Give an example for antioxidant which we added for the food. So why they have that? To avoid the oxidation of food, we will add the antioxidant. It may be butyrated hydroxytoluene or it is butyrated hydroxyanisole. Next, what are anti-fertility drugs? Give an example. So like this, the plenty of questions they can ask. What are allergics? Give an example. What are antipyretics? Give an example. So what are antimicrobial? Give an example. What are antibiotics? Give an example. Okay, what are antihistamine? Give an example. Like that, the different kinds of drug that we studied in this unit, they can be asked for 2 marks. Okay, so as we all know that anti-fertility drugs are drugs or the chemical substances that we have taken to avoid the fertilization of egg. Correct? So to avoid the conceptions or the fertilization of the egg, we will take the anti-fertility drug. Example, novestrol or norethindrone. Okay. Next, what are tranquilizers? Give an example. So tranquilizers are the chemical substances which are given to the patients when the patient is having too much of anxiety, too much of stress or too much of mental disorderness or a depression. To those patients, we are going to give it a tranquilizers. Okay, so when the patient is having stress or anxiety or a depression or any kind of mental diseases. Okay, so example for this are derivatives of barbituric acids like vernol or amytol or luminol. Any of the derivatives of the barbituric acids, we can write it for the tranquilizers. Okay, next. What are anionic detergents? Give an example. So as we all know that synthetic detergents are broadly classified into 2 types. Synthetic detergent are broadly classified into 2 types. One is 3 types. One is anionic detergent. Next is cationic detergent. Last one is non-ionic detergents. So now, as we all know that synthetic detergents are of 3 types: cationic, anionic and non-ionic. Why they have named as cationic, anionic and non-ionic? Remember, in the anionic detergents, only the anionic part are involved in cleansing action. Hence, it is known as what? Anionic detergent. Similarly, in the cationic detergents, only the cationic parts are involved in cleansing agent. Hence, it is a cationic detergents. In the non-ionic, we will take the 2 different kinds of, detergents we will take. We will take the 2 non-ionic part of the detergents. When we combine, it will give us a non-ionic part. In this kinds of detergents, there will be no cations or no anion, but they are involved in cleansing action. They are said to be non-ionic detergents. Let us understand with the first type, anionic detergents. So anionic detergents are sodium salts of sulfonated lengthy chain alcohols or the hydrocarbons. Alkyl hydrogen sulfates are created by heating the lengthy chain of alcohols with a concentrated sulfuric acid, and it is neutralized by an alkali to form an anionic detergent. So first I will take for this a lengthy chain alcohol has lauryl alcohol. You can see that there are CH3, CH2 10 times, CH2OH, which is an lengthy chain alcohol. When we are acidified with an acid, that is H2SO4, what will happen? This OH and one H will be removed as H2O, and what is remaining? CH3, CH2 10 times CH2, and we have SO3H, and I can write it as OSO3H, which is upon acidification with the sodium hydroxide, you know what will happen? This again, one H and one OH can be removed as H2O. And what is remaining then? CH3, CH2 10 times CH2O, CO3, Na. Okay, this is alkyl sodium, which is alkyl hydrogen sulfate. You can see that alkyl groups are there and we have a sodium and the sulfate groups are there. You can see that only this anionic parts are involved in the cleansing action, hence it is named as what? Anionic detergent. Okay, next we have a cationic detergents. So usually, you know, we will take the amines here. We know that in the amine there are 3 hydrogens are there. So in that, any of these hydrogens are replaced with the alkyl group. Okay, I'll write it as CH2, and it is substituted with the acetate, chloride, or with the bromide, any of the halogen. Okay, that will become a quaternary ammonium salts. So only the cationic part, this is a cationic part, will be involved in the cleansing action, and it does not involve the anionic part for the cleansing action. Since it is involving only the cationic part, hence it is known as what? Cationic detergent. Okay, this is how, you know, the types of detergents can be explained with an example. Any one of these detergents can be asked for 2 marks. You must know the equation along with the definition. Okay, any of these 3 can be asked. Okay, so hope you all understood with this unit. So I have placed only the important question. In addition to this, plenty of question can be raised from the textbook, especially from the NCERT. Go through with each and every corner of the textbook. Please underline it, make your own notes and try to prepare for the exam. So I wish all the best for your exam. Thank you.